Okay, so question of the week so far, and I've been asked this question a couple of times, which usually leads me to video content because I know that there's probably somebody else with the same question. So the question is, should you supplement, and if so, what kind of supplement? So this is the opinion of Brandy, and the answer to the question is yes. So as a child, I remember taking the wonderful colored Flintstone vitamins, and then when I had children, we had Pediasure and a couple of other options to make sure that as the children were growing, they were gaining the nutrient balance that they needed because they weren't always eating the right amount of food or the right kind of food. And we know that sometimes that happens because we have picky eaters. The issue becomes that as we become adults, a lot of us forget about that element and we don't necessarily eat any better. Sometimes it's often even worse because the stress or the confines of schedules, we miss a meal here, sometimes we skip two, we're not snacking on the right things, we're not sometimes putting in the right fuel that we would really be able to perform at a better rate with. So again, my answer would be yes for most people. I'm sure there is an exception somewhere, but in my mind, even if you're eating great food, so let's say you got a basket about this big, and I'm one of those kind of people that eats between 5, 6, sometimes 8 times a day. That doesn't mean that I'm eating a plate full of food 6 times a day. That's not at all what I'm saying. Sometimes when I eat, it's a handful of food. Sometimes when I eat, it's just barely a palmful of mixed nuts or something. But I'm continually fueling my body so that, mainly for me, well, there's 2 main reasons for me. One is so that I'm not starving by the time mealtime comes, and then I make a bad choice because I have some issues going on that are causing me to have a craving or feel like I just need to grab the closest thing. So that's one reason. The other reason is that I want to give my body more fuel to do the things that it needs to do, and the way that I'm able to do that is to do it more consistently in smaller amounts. So that's kind of the way I go. But back to the supplement piece. So we have all heard about recent news stories of supplements being pulled from shelves because they had things in them that they should not have had, or they didn't have what was actually on the label. So my first point would be that you want to make sure that you get a supplement from a quality source. Okay, so that's a huge big deal right there. Preferably one with a pharmaceutical grade type process, with lots of science and patent backing and lots of accolades, so that you know that you have a quality, long-term, long-tested, great source. So that's first thing. Second thing is you want high bioavailability. And that's a big word that rolls off my tongue pretty easily these days because I use it a lot. But you want to put nutrients into your body that your body can then turn around and use, not that go in one end and out the other. So bioavailability is key, and not all supplements are put together in a way that they're highly bioavailable. So big deal there. The third thing would be that you want to make sure that you have a supplement that has a performance guarantee. And that's a really hard one to find. As a matter of fact, I only know one company that does that, and it's a really good checks and balances system, so that you are also having a little bit of behavioral modification sometimes, so that you can have this function performed and know where you are in this baseline, and then as you supplement and potentially even change your diet and change your lifestyle, you want to see that you're gaining momentum and moving on up that scale. So that performance guarantee is another one that's huge for me. So if you're going to consider supplementing, which I highly suggest because it's difficult to get everything that you need, even from a very well-balanced diet, if you're eating a basket of food, and my basket's not very deep, okay, so a basket of food a day, and that's half fruit and half veggie, which most of us aren't doing, getting 9 to 15 fruit and vegetable servings a day, they're still not giving you everything that you need. And a lot of the things that you need are sourced from other parts of the world, or you don't get them because you cook the food the same way every time, or because modern farming techniques are pulling out some of the nutrients with soil depletion and whatever. The other thing that you want to look at, because this is huge in the scientific forefront right now, is the genetic capability and what's going on. So you can't change your genes, we get that, but you can change the way your genes express themselves. So with big time diseases that we have going on, so diabetes and Alzheimer's and cancers and things like that, we're seeing new studies that are looking more at genetic expression and the way that these triggers on the genes are doing the things that they're doing. So just imagine that you have these little switches on your genes that are like light switches, and as we age or as things happen to our body, those switches get turned off or on depending on what thing we're talking about. So the wrinkling of the skin sets in, or the age spots, or you start forgetting things a little bit, or you've got bone and joint issues that creep in. So these things that happen as we age are sometimes caused by the fact that that genetic trigger has been shifted, and perhaps it's a nutrient issue, and perhaps you can give your body a supplement that then shifts that trigger back, and so you perform better once again, and you're able to stave off those aging issues. So those aging defense mechanisms and the way that your genes work is really cool. And the fact that there's so much scientific research happening now around big disease that is looking at that as a source, makes us want to focus on that as well. So go out and grab some real food, learn how to season it, learn what textures you like, learn to eat it all the time. Again, snacking is not a 4-letter dirty word. It's a good thing. Just choose really healthy body fuel snacks. And when you think about your food, think about it in a positive manner. Think about it refueling and restoring your body and all the billions of parts that you have going on down to the cellular level. You want to be putting in something that's good in order to support them and keep life on track for a really long time. So I hope that answers the question. And again, we may need to dig a little deeper, so feel free to give me a call or shoot us a message and we'll get into that. And if there's anything I can do to help you, of course, I'm always here. Love the questions, keep them coming, and I hope you guys have a great afternoon. Bye.